Hello, hello, you beautiful soul. I had a message come through today for somebody who is being elevated to elder status in some way. I don't know how this is going to resonate with each individual person, but Spirit was saying that this is a message for someone who has been a teacher from birth. Like from birth, you're a teacher. And I personally believe that every single birth is an opportunity for lessons, and at least for one person, you know, at least the mother of the child. There's one person that's always involved in a birth, and that's the mother, right? And the child. And so, even if it's just, you know, from birth and it's your mother, right? You were here to teach her a powerful lesson, and just your birth, just your existence, right? It wasn't your responsibility to teach anybody anything. It just happens. It just is natural for you because Spirit was saying that you have access or carry certain frequencies, hidden knowledge, information. Also, the law of one was coming through. I just saw 1, 2, 3 as I looked up, so that might resonate in some way. But just your simple existence teaches people from birth, okay? Just by you being you, you have presented opportunities upon opportunities for people to learn lessons, right? And Spirit was saying that you're a truth seeker, right? Truth seeker, truth speaker. That's what I was getting. Heavy on the truth seeking, heavy on the truth speaking, okay? And I was getting this energy like that at an early age, maybe people just didn't take you seriously, right? Maybe you have just always been crazy smart and people didn't expect such high levels of intelligence from such young people, right? And so sometimes what can happen is it's intimidating, right, by the adults in your life or the people in your life that should be the elders, that don't have the same understanding or information that you have always had inside of you, right? That's what the Spirit was saying. Like, people just maybe didn't take you seriously. And then I was seeing that as people in the collective have gotten older, a lot of the times their ways of existing and being and experiencing things here are so far outside of the box and outside of people's minds, outside of the matrix, that it's hard for people to trust your ways, right? Because it just looked so different. It wasn't even that your information or what you felt to be true was wrong. It was just that people some people just get so stuck in the mind and get stuck in the box and the limitations that certain forces have put into place, right? So Spirit is saying that you're just different. Like, you just move different, do things different, and it was never wrong. It was just intimidating to people, right? And so maybe people tried to make you feel dumb or less than or dim your light in some way. Throwing shade on you. Like, that's not a thing that I even say. Like, I've never said that, throwing shade. But it's just like, why would you need shade if something wasn't so bright, right? Like, why would somebody need to shade anything if it wasn't too bright for them? Let's make that make sense for a second. So I don't know what that's about, throwing shade, whatever. But yeah, so the Spirit was just saying that you have made it to this point right now, right? Regardless of what anybody has said, regardless of, people trying to shade your brilliance, you still have made it to this point, to this video, to this understanding. And I was getting that the reason that you have earned the right as an elder, right? That was the whole point of this message, is gaining or elevating into an elder status, is because you have always been, I was getting this really like humble energy. Like you've always been really humble and open, right? Open mind, open heart, and willing to learn, right? I didn't feel any type of rigidity when it came to this energy and their ability to learn something new or look at things from a different perspective, right? To gain more understanding and expand consciousness. So I was not at all getting this um like, oh, I'm super smart and I know everything type of energy. That's not what I was picking up at all. It's very, very humble, very like I know some things, but I don't know everything. Right? And willing to learn. So the reason that this message has found you is because the spirit was saying that you have balanced the two, the student and the teacher, right? Like you have been able to find this balance within yourself, and you're stepping into a position where you feel more comfortable being a leader or a mentor or a teacher, or just feeling more comfortable in your role as a teacher just of life by encounters with other people, right? Because we can have a teaching experience or a learning experience with someone in just a few short moments and never see them again, right? So just things like that. It could be something as grand as like, you know, doing what it's called, conferences and stuff like this, right? Like going out, doing speaking in front of a bunch of people, or just simply helping somebody shift their mindset in their day-to-day life encounter. So there's that. But Spirit was just telling me that you have remained open while standing firm in truth, right? And that was the balance that I was seeing of the student and the teacher, right? Like you can guide people to an understanding, is what I just heard, um and still stand on the truth, right, while remaining open and willing to understand and expand even more, right? Because we're all the students and we're all the teachers. We all have a role to play and we all have lessons to learn. And it's beautiful. It is so cool. But Spirit was saying that because you have a very unique and personal relationship with God, consciousness, the universe, whatever it is that you want to call it, you have this very personal relationship with Spirit. And you have a very strong connection with yourself, right? Which is God, consciousness. You have this connection, and that's what, yes, Spirit's telling me, yes, you are very smart, right? You have a very large, large ability, huge ability to soak up information, right? But it is that connection to God, to consciousness, that you truly have always relied on. And that is where you've gotten your greatest information from, right? Is by having that connection. And so that was really exciting. I love to feel that everybody, everybody should have their own unique experience with God through our own perspectives, right? That's the beauty of being different people and having different perspectives, is that we get to have these unique individual relationships with ourselves from our own really cool perspectives. So another thing that I was getting is that your frequency is judgment, and brings justice, and not in a way of like you're a judgmental person or anything like this. It's just that you have earned, I guess you could say earned. You've done the work necessary to raise your frequency to where just going, being, existing, doing, um, is judgment. It's judgment, and it brings justice. And I heard healed judgment based on truth, right? This isn't, like I said, this isn't a wounded place of judgment where you're judging people um unfairly. No, this was like your response to this experience opens people's eyes, and people see you, right? People see you. Spirit's telling me to give you a small example. I'm like, okay, put me on the spot. Like, let's say used to, right? You would tolerate certain behaviors, and people would think that it would be okay to behave in this way, right? It was acceptable because you didn't correct this behavior. So now you're at a place where your frequency is so high, you have such high values, high standards for yourself. So the way that you carry yourself, the way that you move, the way that you respond to this experience is very high value. And people see that, right? People see what you're not going to tolerate. People see what you are willing to accept. And by just doing that, you're setting an example, right? So you get to learn some people something sometimes just by being. And that is the coolest thing about this experience is like, as we do the work, as we learn and grow and heal, we have more opportunities to reflect that as we move through this experience, and give other people opportunities to see how they could possibly respond in a situation, right? Planting those seeds. So, wow, elder status. That is such a wonderful um, confirmation. Even for myself, I have a couple, like I have a little gray hair that's sprouting. Oh, there it is. See that? So I'm super excited. I got my one gray hair. Well, actually, I have a couple. They've been sprouting out. So I'm like, I feel like I'm moving into elder status. I feel like I'm, before too long, be looking like the little old lady that's telling her stories, and have all my little children around listening to me, grandchildren, and all that stuff. Be the village crazy lady. So anyway, I love this so much. You're so amazing and important and needed, and you know the truth. Spirit saying truth seeker, truth speaker. I love you.